To hear of a man crushed by a giant crucifix, it should rightly give us pause. Years ago, I heard of a man who prayed before a statue of Christ on the cross every day, asking God's mercy for the man's wife who was battling cancer. His wife made it through, and after enduring the pain and emotional exhaustion of that fight, the man wanted to clean the statue in appreciation, except the statue fell on him, leading to his leg being amputated. The church raised money and donations for the man, but he ended up suing. Welcome to the Faithful Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Ganser, and I've carried this story with me for so long, not just because of the many twists and turns in it, but also because of some of the clumsy writing in the news story about it and what genuine theological issues we might consider from it. We'll explore some of these in this short episode of Faithful. Before we get too deep into this wild story, I want to express sympathy for all the people involved. To battle cancer, to believe prayers had been answered, to lose a leg in an accident with a falling crucifix, no less. It's all a bit much, and it demands some thoughtfulness. The story from 2012 originally came from a local TV station, CBS 2, in New York, and it's about David Jimenez.
For months, the 45-year-old pizza worker would stop and pray at the crucifix that his wife would be cured of ovarian cancer, and she was.
David attributed her recovery, her cure, to his devotion.
Jimenez's lawyer reiterates that his client believed his devotion to the crucifix was responsible for his wife being cured, so he asked permission to clean the crucifix since it was seen as having been neglected.
But in doing so, the statue dislodged and toppled onto him,
Throwing him down into the parking lot, crushing his right leg.
The 600-pound statue was supported only by one screw in its base, or so says the lawyer. The church gathered donations of goods and of money, but Jimenez filed suit to try to expedite a settlement from the Archdiocese's insurance company looking for about $3 million, but how much he asked for changes depending on which version of the story you see. It's a wild story, and not surprisingly, it has attracted naysayers in the comments saying it was clearly a message of a bad omen. For me, it sparked a number of questions. Is it accurate to say that the man prayed to the crucifix and that he felt the object had some power? Does it mean something if a crucifix falls down at all? And what does the story say, if anything at all, about faith and about God?
Jimenez, who believes in the power of prayer, is now praying for a judgment, not from a higher authority, but from a civil court.
This is tacky writing, in my opinion, and it seems to feed a faith skeptic view as seen in the video's comments. The headline proclaims Mr. Jimenez as deeply religious. His devotion to the cross is mentioned throughout. Those faith skeptics might proclaim, aha, well, see what good faith is, see what praying leads to. It didn't help you. Where was God in all of this? I don't share those skeptical views of faith, but I did briefly go down kind of a rabbit hole of thought. First, this supposed devotion to the crucifix. While the crucifix is a holy symbol, it's not to be prayed to directly, similar to statues or icons. The crucifix is an object to remind the believer or focus the believer's attention on God. By praying to an object, as the awkward syntax in the story presents, the crucifix has itself become kind of an idol. There's also a difference between showing reverence to an image of Christ, for example, and praying to the object. The reverence is shown in respect to Christ and not because of the thing itself. The cynical Christian may say, well, so the man prayed to an object and thus was taught a lesson by God. Despite graphic episodes in the Old Testament, I tend to think God's new covenant makes clear he's not in the smiting business, and he is a loving God. In the view of Christianity, it is through Jesus Christ's death and resurrection that man is saved and provided the Holy Spirit to discern manifestations of God within us and others. Catholics and Protestants can disagree on the role of the crucifix or a bare cross and how they're interpreted, but that's a discussion for another day. There is a fair bit of superstition around religious symbols, where certain cultures or in popular media may see a crucifix falling as a sign, or sometimes in horror films, a crucifix may turn upside down as a sign something spooky is happening. The church has established norms for discerning whether something good or not is of supernatural origin. And in May 2024, the Vatican updated the norms for figuring out what is supernatural and what is not. On the issue of a crucifix in particular, some anti-Christians have tried to co-opt the upside-down cross, though that's actually Christian as well. The Petrine cross is a symbol of Peter, who didn't deem himself worthy of dying in the same manner as Christ, so he was crucified upside down. While the Holy Rosary, holy water, a crucifix can all be instruments of the faith through prayer, God's power is beyond an object, just for an object's sake. The cynic may then ask, well, then why would God allow this to happen to this man, one who showed devotion, one who is very religious? Why would God cure a man's wife of cancer only to then turn around and take his leg? How does that prove God is loving if he would allow such pain? Sometimes things fall down, and a crucifix or a picture falling off the wall means nothing more than it fell off the wall. But the issue of pain and suffering is one often invoked in considerations of the existence and purpose of God. C.S. Lewis, of course, expounded upon the issue in The Problem of Pain. I don't believe this episode with the crucifix is the same issue as the broader question of why pain exists, however. Man-made atrocities are the product and consequence of free will. Because we were given free will, the consequence is the existence of evil in the world and the possibility of sin. Natural disasters are not the consequences of free will, of course, but they are occurrences we have to manage. Well, how does someone dying from a hurricane prove God's love? It doesn't. Of course it doesn't. But we all die. We're all afforded a certain amount of time on earth. Our end is predetermined. The fact that our end will come and is known by God does not contradict the idea of free will, because we still choose how to live in the time afforded to us. We choose while we can, and we know not the day nor the hour when our time will be done. So back to Mr. Jimenez. If we take the news story at face value that Mr. Jimenez is a deeply religious man, he has chosen to be devoted to God, then why is his leg crushed? It may not be satisfying, but no one on this side of heaven can know exactly why this happened as it did. We don't know fully where we're going in life, the lessons we have to learn, the spiritual growth we have to experience. We don't know if opportunities for charity are at first blurred by pain and what we see as tragedy. And this goes for anyone facing anything in life, really. Do I find it good that this man has lost his leg? No, of course not. Of course not. But we can't know why this happened. It's through faith that we seek strength to believe in the plan set out long before we came into existence on this earth. And it's in faith that we seek strength to stay the course when met with epic sadness or seemingly insurmountable pain. At times, I don't think we know how much we can handle or how much more we need to grow or experience. We don't know everything. Jesus recognized the difficulty of our having true faith in what cannot be known, referencing the power afforded by faith only as big as a mustard seed. It's in those darkest of nights, in the face of the most daunting tasks, that even the slightest bit of faith can give us the strength to push farther than our minds, hearts, and souls believed possible. Thank you for being with me for this short episode of Faithful. I have a few longer episodes I'm slowly working through, and I do look forward to sharing them with you very soon. Please consider sharing this or any of our episodes with anyone you think who would like them, and please also have a great day.